hoop program, one of the largest in the country, that, we were playing a lot of tournaments with not a great experience. And what if we could be involved in that experience to help not just the players, but the parents, coaches, and everyone alike to have a better experience. So ultimately we got into it from there and started to do leagues and camps, I said large tournaments, and then eventually got into what we're talking about today, which is the Holiday Hoopla, a high school event.
Now, your background is coaching and talent strategy. What does that entail?
Yeah, so I spent 25 plus years in the corporate world within HR, doing recruiting and talent acquisition, and from there I've done a lot of executive coaching and leadership training as a part of that. Now I'm a co-owner of Brick House Blue, which is a co-working space throughout the Central Ohio area. We've got multiple locations for startup companies and incubator. So a lot of fun. It's all around people and talent.
Now, is it true that you're the hardest working man in sports business? You have some kids too, right?
I'll leave the hard part to my wife, but yes, I've got 3 children. One is Elise, is a marketing professional down in Charlotte. My middle son is the football player at Miami University. And then my youngest is a sophomore point guard at Hilliard Bradley High School.
There you go. Fans of high school boys basketball had a treat in Columbus with this Holiday Hoopla battle. What did the event feature?
Yeah, so this event's going to have 34 unique teams from around the state of Ohio playing in 36 games. We've got kind of a theme of Central Ohio versus Ohio, where you will have a matchup of a local team versus somebody around the state, which right now the lineup's pretty solid, and we'll have a lot of your powerhouses from Cleveland and Cincinnati and Toledo, as well as the matchups here in Columbus. It'll be starting 11 o'clock in the morning all the way through 8:15 at night, 6 games each day for 3 days. And then you will have, if you really look at the lineup of teams, we've got 16 Sweet 16 teams from last year, 6 Final Four teams, and 3 state champion finalists. So pretty loaded lineup.
Did you have any problem with scheduling, given that A, it's the holiday season, and B, we're right smack in the middle of high school boys basketball?
Honestly, that was a kind of a fear we had as we started to put the concept together. But, starting to make the calls, I've got in my own AAU program over 100 high school coaches. So a lot of familiarity and relationships right off the bat. So it wasn't too hard to reach out and to get interest. But what I was concerned was whether a coach wanted to have an easy game for an easy win. And not to say that's what coaches think, but sometimes, for these holiday things, they want a little bit of a break from their tough league schedule. But as we got into it and started to propose matchups, it was, a resounding give me the best team and the best matchup possible, which was great. And so that allowed us to put together this highly talented and very deep lineup of teams.
Did college scouts attend?
Yes, being that we're in the AAU world, we have a lot of college connections as well. And so we've already reached out, and the response has been significant to have all of these kids and teams in one location for 3 days with, the convention center and Battelle Hall, having these kind of accommodations. They were very pleased and excited, because one thing that coaches don't want to do is move around to multiple locations. So I think there's going to be a really good turnout. Even if it's not in person, I know that there's a lot of coaches that are excited to go onto the streaming side.
Well, they say rising tides raise all ships. Do you think that this inspires these players to play even harder and at the very, very top of their game, because they know that, A, they're competing against peers who are as good, if not better than they are, and B, because they're potentially college scouts, if not pro scouts, in the stands?
Yeah, I think even aside from their future in basketball, I think that in the moment, a part of this is that, you have to wait typically until February to start the tournament and get in front of all these large crowds and see different teams and get that energy. And I think having this, really before we even hit the turn of the year, allows for these kids to get that feeling of high-level matchups, crowds, great atmosphere. It not only prepares them for the tournament, but just gives them a sense of all the hard work I've put in since October can pay off a little bit earlier by having this opportunity to play in front of so many people and so many scouts, So I think it's great. I think, and knowing that, we've had one of our media individuals going around all this past month doing video shoots with various local teams, and the kids are excited. They're really kind of championing the idea of playing against everyone outside of Central Ohio to see if, when Sunday night finishes off the last game, who's got the better record, Central Ohio or the rest of the state.
I remember interviewing LeBron James back when he was a high school junior, and I think it was like 02 or 03. And I asked him, I said, where do you see yourself in 10 years? He said, I'm going to bring a national championship to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I kind of rolled my eyes in my head, but I didn't say anything negative. What do you say to a high school student who has that kind of moxie and thinks he's that good?
Well, in these days, most kids think they're that good. Sometimes it's the opposite conversation you have to have, which is when reality sets in. And in today's world with NIL and the transfer portal, I think it's created a little bit of a parachute. I mean, you can argue both sides of it, but there's a little bit of a parachute for a kid who had big aspirations that didn't work out, and they find themselves either moving from a Division I opportunity down to a D2 or NIA opportunity. So I think, if you're young and you're a dreamer, like dream. I'm the same way. So, dream big and then just let reality set in, and hopefully it's for the best. But I would never discourage a kid from, taking that mindset of I'm the best until you prove me wrong.
Absolutely. Now, you've got some other events planned. What is the next event after Holiday Hoopla?
The next event will be as we get into our spring, summer AAU season, which will be the end of March. That's when we start to take on some bigger tournaments. We've got tournaments down in Cincinnati at Hamilton, Ohio at the Spooky Nook 28-court facility. And then a lot of our events are here locally at Polaris Mall in the 5-court facility up there at Fieldhouse USA.
Dave Murgon is the co-founder of Bleacher Republic. We thank him for being with us today. And there is more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
Morning Juice.
Be part of the solution. You came late to the workout class, but you had to run there. You're already sweating. Like, you're already ready to go. Hop on in. There's no warm-ups needed.
Morning Juice. Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Make your New Year's Eve celebration and football watch party a good deal better with Meijer. Fresh guac is always a hit. Mix up a batch with extra large fresh avocados. Now buy one, get one free. And Meijer tortilla chips are a perfect match. Assorted Meijer chips are 3 for $6 when you buy 3 or more. And Coca-Cola and Pepsi 12 packs are buy 2, get 1 free. Plus deposit where applicable. Bring more good to your holiday celebrations at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See the Meijer app for details.
Looking to end the year strong? Join Planet Fitness now through December 30th for $1 down, $15 a month, and pay nothing until January 17th. With top-tier strength and cardio equipment, free fitness training, and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone can level up in the judgment-free zone. Why wait to start feeling stronger? Get moving now. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime, and pay nothing until January 17th. Don't miss out. Deal ends Monday, December 30th. See club for details.
Who are the people that serve part-time in the Ohio Army National Guard? We are your neighbors and friends. We are your sons and daughters. Our service is providing us valuable job skills, and it pays up to 100% of our tuition. We're proud to serve our state. We are your Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with the Ohio Army National Guard at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard. Aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to HIMSS.com/joy.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Plus $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
Through the magic of modern technology, I'm coming to you from inside your garbage disposal.
Hey, what are you doing down here?
I was telling folks about Who are you?
Garbage disposal monster. I eat the things people put in here. Nom 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 nom.
Oh?
Sometimes I get sick.
I was just about to say, the pros who knows from Apex are brilliant at fixing garbage disposals. You're really a monster?
Look here. These teeth?
Yeah?
They're all busted.
Oh.
They're for food, not forks. You hear up there?
Gee, what else?
Crazy noises like clingety, 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 clingety. Call Apex Pros.
Sure.
Sometimes I smell funny.
I didn't want to draw attention to it.
Call Apex Pros.
And what's going on now there?
Smoking. It's a bad habit. We're not supposed to smoke.
Well, you heard it straight from the garbage disposal monster.
Rawr.
Call the pros who knows. Apex Pros.
Hi, it's Alex, the Apex Bear. We are the Pros Who Knows, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Nom 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 nom.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. I care deeply about creating a world we can all fully participate in, free from stigma, misperceptions, and barriers. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Rooted in communities nationwide, Easter Seals helps empower millions of people, regardless of age or disability, through its life-changing services and powerful advocacy. Today and every day, Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at EasterSeals.com.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
In the NBA, the Houston Rockets rank as the team with the highest percentage of three-pointers all time. The Cleveland Cavaliers have started the season winning more than 86% of their games, and offense has been the key. Last year, the Cavs ranked 7th with 13.5 three-pointers made, and that number has jumped to 16 this year. Tim Elkhorn is the radio play-by-play announcer for the Cavs and joins us now on Ohio Sports Magazine. Tim, the offensive strategy is called drive, kick, swing. What on earth does that mean?
Well, it's interesting, Jay. I asked Kenny Atkinson that question a few nights ago in his pregame press conference, and he said that philosophy, that system, came from his time when he was coaching over in Europe. And, of course, the European game is wide open, a lot of spacing, and he just loved it. And so he gravitated towards it and then incorporated it into his coaching style and his principles. And basically what it means is the guy with the ball, usually to start the possession, is your point guard, but whoever it is, he drives to the bucket to draw the defense. He kicks it out, and then the ball swings around the perimeter. And so the old saying, the defense can't move as quick as the ball can. And if it doesn't work the first time, you drive, kick, and swing it again. And usually by that second go through, someone's going to be open for a three ball. And that's what has increased the Cavs' percentages this year. And certainly it has been fun to watch.
You know, you think about the Utah game that just happened, and 4 of the 5 Cavs starters in that game scored 20 points or more. One of those was Sam Merrill. And it just seems like there's nobody on the team who can't or doesn't have the ability to score in double digits. Is that because of the three ability, or is that just because of this hurry-up, fast-paced offense?
Yeah, good question, Jay. And it's a little bit of both. The system allows for better looks. Obviously, the Cavs are number one in the NBA in both field goal percentage and three-point percentage. So they're knocking down shots, but they're getting great looks. And you mentioned Sam Merrill. It's interesting. When Kenny Atkinson was hired, Sam Merrill was one of the first guys I thought of that Kenny would have a real impact on, because if you remember back to his Brooklyn Nets days when Kenny was the head coach of the Nets, he really transformed Joe Harris into a three-point threat. And I thought of Sam that, hey, if he can do with Sam what he did with Joe Harris, Sam's going to become lethal. And his shot was off a little bit here at the start of the year, but boy, if that game against Utah is any indication, he's on his way back. He knocked down 6 in that game against the Jazz.
We look at guys like Max Strus, who sat on the bench for the first, 25, 27 games of the year and then came back. Is it possible that we have too many good players, or is the idea to play these players less, reduce the risk of injury, and give everybody a chance?
Jay, you can never have too many good players. You want as many good players as you can have, and it's a great problem when you're trying to find minutes for all of those guys. And I think Kenny Atkinson has done a marvelous job in utilizing his bench. To your point, minimizing the minutes that the starters are playing. You don't want starters logging 36, 38, almost 40 minutes a game. You can do that early in the year, but if you do that throughout the season, they just have dead legs by the time you get to April and the playoffs. So keep those guys in the low 30s, around 30. Oh, that's masterful, because now they're ready to go for postseason basketball. So Cavaliers have a lot of good players. The bench has just been superb this year. You mentioned Sam Merrill, Karis LeVert, George Niang, Dean Wade. Every one of the guys that has come off the bench has contributed. And so Kenny Atkinson, to his credit, has done a fantastic job in utilizing minutes and getting his starters rest.
Now, we look at the scores of these games, and as of this recording, the Cavs have the best record in the NBA. But in terms of defense, the Cavs rank 9th, allowing an average of 110 points per game. Is there room for, or a need for, improvement defensively?
Well, there's always room for improvement, and Kenny Atkinson has talked about that. Now, you have to take that number with somewhat of a grain of salt, because the Cavs are getting shots up so quickly. They're playing a faster-paced offense. Just math and logic says that gives the other team more possessions. The Cavs aren't winding the shot clock down. So if the other team has more possessions, hey, they're NBA players. They're going to hit some shots. And so the opposition's point total is going to go up somewhat. But sure, the Cavalier defense can use improvement, and that's not a negative thing. We're only 30-some-odd games into the season here. So, yeah, and they've got elite defenders with Jared Allen, with Evan Mobley. Now, the absence of Isaac Okoro will be felt at the defensive end. He's a great defender. But sure, because as I alluded to earlier, you get into April and into playoff basketball, defense really becomes the strong point as far as carrying you through different rounds.
When do they expect Okoro to return?
Well, the initial prognosis was he'd be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So they're going to let that shoulder settle down a little bit. Sprained shoulder isn't something you want to mess around with. So let it settle down. Let's have a look at it again in 2 weeks and then see where it goes from there.
So barring any other unforeseen injuries, how likely is it for this team to continue playing 800 or better ball this season?
Well, that's a pretty high bar. I mean, that's winning basketball. But I fully anticipate this team to be playing at the high level that they've played at throughout the season. This is no mirage. You know, earlier it was easy to say they're off to a great start. Man, this 10-0, 12-0, 15-0 start. But it's no longer a start. We're over a third of the way through the year. So the sample size is big enough to say this is a really good basketball basketball team, and that could make a deep run as far as the Eastern Conference and the NBA playoffs are concerned. So I don't know about 800 basketball, Jay, but I expect them to continue to perform at a very high level.
So when you look at the other teams in the league, there seems to be an extreme disparity between the teams that are playing well and the rest of the teams. So in the East, we've got Boston and Cleveland, obviously, are dominant. And in the West, we've got Oklahoma City and Memphis that are currently dominant. Do we think that that's probably going to be the Final Four?
It could. I think in the East, Jay, I do think it's a two-horse race. I think it's Boston and Cleveland, and that's not to take anything away from the other teams and not to go through them team by team, roster by roster. But I think the other teams in the East have an issue or have a problem, be it roster-wise or whatever it may be. I think it comes down to Boston and Cleveland in the East. Out West, listen, I think that's a little more wide open. I know OKC and Memphis are playing very, very well, but I expect Dallas to be there. They're the defending champions as far as the West is concerned. I think there are other teams. Denver, if they make a deal or two to strengthen their bench, any team that has Nikola Jokic, you can't count them out. I think the West might be a little more wide open than the East, but I think it's Boston and the Cavs in the East.
Are you having the most fun this year that you've ever had?
Well, listen, it's a great gig. I mean, and trust me, when you're 26-4, which the Cavs are as we tape this, you're having a lot of fun. But what makes it fun, Jay, is the way they play. It's fun basketball to call because the ball is moving. Brand of basketball, this drive, kick, swing system that we talked about earlier. It's fun. It's fun play-by-play, and certainly the way the Cavs are playing makes it all that more enjoyable.
Well, nothing says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year like a winning Cavs team, and we have that this year. Thank you, Tim, for being with us. There is more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS-TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC-TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Final deadline to enroll is January 15th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Getting a live Christmas tree to plant after the holidays? Well, here are some tips. In the house, keep it away from heat sources that could wake it up out of dormancy. You don't want that. Dig your hole now before the ground freezes. Or if you plan to wait till spring, you need to protect roots from extreme cold with mulch or straw. And move it from the warm house to an unheated area like a garage temporarily to make the transition outside more gentle. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Ohio chapter of the International Society of Arboriculture at treesforohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
As the year comes to a close, we remember some of the greats from the world of Ohio sports that left us this year. Nick Camino from ONN affiliate WKYC-TV in Cleveland remembers Cleveland Indians great Rocky Colavito.
We say goodbye to one of the greatest players to ever wear a Cleveland uniform, the Rock, slugger Rocky Colavito.
In 1951, after a tryout at Yankee Stadium, a 17-year-old Rocky Colavito signed a contract with the Cleveland Indians. Over the next 5 seasons, he was one of baseball's best outfielders and a fan favorite. In 1959, he led the American League in home runs. And then in the following offseason, one of the worst trades in baseball history sent him to the Detroit Tigers. A move that stunned Cleveland baseball fans. And years later, leading to the myth that the trade cursed the club and prevented them from another World Series because of it. 65 years later, Cleveland is still looking for that World Series. His name is still throughout the team's record book. He remains the only player in club history to hit 4 home runs in a single game. In 2006, Rocky went into the team's Hall of Fame. And in 2021, a statue of Colavito was unveiled in Little Italy.
There's no words to describe how I'm feeling right now. The love that these people have shown me is outstanding.
Rocky was born in the Bronx, New York. He's one of only 18 players to ever hit 4 home runs in a game. And I can tell you, like a lot of Italian Americans in Cleveland and Northeast Ohio, Rocky was a childhood hero for a lot of young boys growing up.
Pete Rose was my childhood hero. We lost Charlie Hustle this year. Pete Rose will be remembered as the kingpin of the Big Red Machine and winner of 2 World Series with the Cincinnati Reds in 1975 and 1976. He died Major League Baseball's all-time hits leader with 4,256 hits, breaking Ty Cobb's record in 1985. Let's revisit that moment.
And he fires, Rose swings.
There it is, there it is, get out, get out.
Pete Rose was 83. It was a tough day for Columbus Blue Jackets fans when we unexpectedly lost a key player. Clay Gordon of ONN affiliate WBNS-TV explains.
The Columbus Blue Jackets have confirmed that star Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew have died near their childhood home in New Jersey. Johnny was 31 years old. New Jersey State Police say Gaudreau and his brother were biking on a roadway when a vehicle struck them. They will continue to investigate the crash. In a statement on X, the Blue Jackets say Johnny played the game with great joy, which was felt by everyone that saw him on the ice. They go on to say Johnny embraced our community when he arrived 2 years ago, and Columbus welcomes him with open arms.
Longtime WKYC-TV sports anchor and voice of the Cleveland Browns, Jim Donovan, lost his battle with cancer this year. Russ Mitchell looks back.
We say goodbye to our dear friend, Jimmy. Jim Donovan was the eyes and ears of Cleveland sports for 40 years and the voice of your Cleveland Browns for a quarter century, starting when the team returned in 1999.
He's to the 30, 25, 20, 50, 10, 5, touchdown, Nick Chubb!
It is more than fair to say Jimmy has seen it all. And after stops in Vermont and Minnesota, he started here at WKYC in 1985.
And I would be remiss if I didn't remember the great actor James Earl Jones, whose soliloquy about baseball will live on forever and ever.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good. than it could be again.
From all of us at the Ohio News Network, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and here's to a great 2025. We'll be right back.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
Update your home with help from Menards. Keep your home organized with closet-made closet kits. They're perfect for kickstarting your closet or pantry project. Find the closet solution that's right for you and save big money. The 6-foot satin chrome closet-made wire closet kit is $114.99. Good through December 31st. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals during Menards New Year's sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Tri-State Men's Health today. Because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Tri-State Men's Health will give you back your sex life. Because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Through the magic of modern technology, I'm coming to you from inside your garbage disposal.
Hey, what are you doing down here?
I was telling folks about Who are you?
Garbage disposal monster. I eat the things people put in here. Nom 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 nom.
Oh?
Sometimes I get sick.
I was just about to say, the pros who knows from Apex are brilliant at fixing garbage disposals. You're really a monster?
Look here. These teeth?
Yeah?
They're all busted.
Oh.
They're for food, not forks. You hear up there?
Gee, what else?
Crazy noises like clingety, 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 clingety. Call Apex Pros.
Sure.
Sometimes I smell funny.
I didn't want to draw attention to it.
Call Apex Pros.
And what's going on now there?
Smoking. It's a bad habit. We're not supposed to smoke.
Well, you heard it straight from the garbage disposal monster. Call the pros who knows. Apex Pros.
Hi, it's Alex, the Apex Bear. We are the pros who knows, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Nom 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 nom.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Starting off a bit chillier this morning with temperatures in the upper teens and lower 20s. The good news is we don't have much of a breeze, so wind chill factor isn't there, but we will see a return to sunshine throughout the morning. I expect mostly sunny skies this afternoon with highs near 30 degrees, still below normal. But tonight we stay fairly quiet, mostly clear with lows falling to the lower 20s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Erica Colora.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan. This is ONN.
Talking with the legend, Katie Smith. She's the brand new assistant women's basketball coach at Ohio State, a Ohio High School collegiate professional international basketball legend. Katie, congrats on the return to the alma mater. What's the past month been like for you?
It's been a little hectic. It's awesome to be back, but it's, I finished a WNBA season, 6-7 month season. We were in the final, Game 5, and, a week later I'm getting onboarded and learning new terminology and, how practice and things are done. So it's been wild, right back to watching film and making edits. So a lot of it's similar, and then a lot of it's, new, obviously new people, new relationships, and it's just been a lot of fun to kind of be back. And, you see a lot of familiar faces, but you also see a lot of new faces.
What were the conversations like between you, Kevin McGuff, Ohio State Athletics, just to put you in the position that you're in right now?
It kind of started probably with me. I, reached out to Kevin, during the off season. I'm around, obviously home is Ohio. It's been Columbus, in the off season. I come to the games, obviously scouting. But, kind of started some conversations of just like, hey, timing in my life a little bit. My parents, are not getting, they laughed when I said they're getting older, but being able to spend some time with them to help them. But also, I got married a year ago. We have a 12-year-old. We're a freshman in college. And I'm gone 7 months. I don't see him hardly at all. So it's just at a time in a life where, being home and having these years and these memories will mean a lot. And, so that was really the big impetus to be back. Obviously, I love this institution. I love the women's program, and I love women's basketball. So just really excited to be back to hopefully add to everything they've built, the whole coaching staff, and to really grow it and really make an impact here in Central Ohio and also the state of Ohio.
Katie, the Big Ten looks a little different these days. Have you had a chance to think about being in the same conference as Oregon, USC, UCLA, and Washington, and just how that's just evolved over the past decade?
Yeah, it is wild. The Big Ten, it's weird saying the Big Ten, and then you're like, oh, man, we're going to be on L.A. and Oregon. And, for us, it's probably, you've got a couple extra games. For them, it probably feels so odd that they're traveling to the Midwest for almost all their games. So it is different. It's just, again, everything evolves. I think that's the one thing I think athletics has kind of taught me and my career in sports is being adaptable and just kind of going with it. It's never going to stay the same. You're always, your roster changes every year. People get hurt, coaches leave. So you, as an athlete, there's a lot of turnover in all areas when you're playing and as a coach. And I think that's the one thing it bodes well for me throughout life and now is it doesn't look the same. It's not going to look the same as you go. And it's really just kind of taking it where it's at. But it is wild, but I'm pumped because obviously USC and UCLA, Oregon are phenomenal programs, especially women's basketball programs. And to have that type of competition for us and to go against that is, I think, an athlete's dream. So really pumped to have them in that competition.
Yeah, Katie, you picked a heck of a time to get back into college athletics. With name, image, and likeness, the transfer portal, you got, $100 million television deals. Just have you been able to take any time and I'm sure you have meetings, with compliance and everything that goes into all of that, but just what's that transition been like from the program to what college athletics is now is very professionalized?
Yeah, so it's honestly an easy transition. The biggest thing is just kind of understanding how this thing works or who handles what. So it's just asking a lot of questions, when things come up. It's just learning and knowing. And also there's also things that are changing every day here. You know what I mean? This is not things are going to change next year and then after that. So the one thing about pro sports is just a little bit better, the CBA, the organizations, there's some rules and regulations behind everything. Transparency, free agency, salary cap, what people are getting paid. Here it's moving that way. It's just not there yet. So it's kind of, I guess it's a little bit like what I came from without some of the, direction and knowledge. But honestly, it's kind of fun to learn. I love learning. I love trying to figure this thing out and just figuring out where we can, where I personally can be helpful and like what the, our program needs. But I just really want, I want Central Ohio and I want Ohio in general. We have a great women's basketball history. And I just want it to blow it up. I want them to understand how great these ladies are, how talented they are, what great people they are. So I'm just, really want to push those stories and make sure that, investing in women is the right thing to do, but it's also like it's a profitable thing to do. And it's all of those things combined, just as I said, to make an impact for everyone, but also women and girls throughout Ohio.
Katie, you've been such a huge part in women's basketball, at the high school level, at the college level, international, professional. Just over the past couple of seasons, and correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like it's gone into kind of hyperdrive in just the popularity and the access. And it feels like women's basketball has never been bigger than it is now. Was there a moment for you where you realized, like, whoa, this is huge?
Yeah, last year, obviously, it's like it took over, like it was a tour, like somebody was on tour. It was Caitlin Clark's tour, selling out arenas everywhere she went. She did it in the WNBA too. Everywhere she went, it was a sellout. I'm like, it's about time. I think the game has always been amazing, and it has. But Caitlin has taken it to another level where you've brought new eyes to it, new viewership, more sponsor dollars. Along with those, like Stewart and everybody in the W, Sabrina, and you have Angel Reese and Asia Wilson. So all of this is more eyes on the talent that's there, and I just think the game is phenomenal. I think the women are phenomenal. They're so creative and individual. I mean, it's just amazing. So again, more eyes on, more money to be had, and it's profitable. It is something we want to invest in because it's at a peak. And it's just going to get higher. And I just think people appreciate and can see, and those that always come to games are always like, man, I had such a ball, I didn't know. And it's like, finally, now there's like lots and lots of eyes on. And again, Caitlin had a lot to do with that. But obviously Paige Beckers and a lot of the players that are, Juju Watkins, they're throughout the country now, are going to continue that.
Katie, you said something earlier in the interview that really got me thinking, just because I was looking back, on your storied career, the 92 Gatorade National Player of the Year, and, you guys at Logan went up against that Pickerington High School. I got to remind myself that, there's now like 3 Hilliards, there's several Pickeringtons, there's like 5 Olentangies. But when you guys played against Pickerington High School, that team that felt like it won 1 million games in the 90s, like how often do you think back to those days at Logan, and how often, now that you're back in Columbus a little bit more, are you able to keep in touch just with those programs in southeastern Ohio and in central Ohio?
I go home a lot. My parents are still in Logan. Obviously Columbus has been home, so it's just an hour southeast of here. My buddies, still my high school buddies, are still some of my best friends. They continue to show up. They came up to Minnesota this year to watch a game. Those are some of my best basketball memories playing in high school. The bus trips, 2 hours to Marietta and Gallipolis and 2 lane roads. And we had great coaches, and Ralph and Jim Myers. And we had a couple of D1 athletes. We had a lot of success, but we had more fun than anything else. And, the whole town was a part of it. So I think, anybody who has that, those connections, those relationships, that's who you are is that time in your life. So I go back a lot. I stay connected and stay up to date on a lot of things. And, always proud to be from Logan and to have played, and been supported by a community. And that truly was what it was. I was supported by, obviously my family, but the community was a big reason why I am who I am.
The pride of Logan, Ohio, and truly one of the best from The Ohio State University, now where she is an assistant coach with the basketball Buckeyes. Katie Smith, thank you so much for the time today.
I appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
The Jackets are back at Nationwide for a battle with the Hurricanes. Live fan coverage starts Tuesday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Your home for Blue Jackets hockey, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
I'm Rick Reichert, and Reichert Ford is cranking things up for the year-end spectacular. And we're dealing. It's our biggest sale of the year. Lease a new 2024 hybrid F-150 for just $499 a month for 36 months, 0 down. Lease a new 2024 Bronco Sport for just $399 a month for 36 months, also 0 down. We're stacking them deep and selling them cheap. No other dealer in Columbus, in Ohio, or the entire United States is dealing like this, period. One of the largest Ford inventories in America, and it's all on sale. Get to the year-end spectacular. The grand finale of 2024 ends Thursday, January 2nd, only at Reichert Ford, the largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio, at Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichertFord.com. based on 2023 Ford report for total new retail sales. Cincinnati region. Offers end January 2nd on approved credit. No security deposit required. Come in now, because we're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing. Better is around the corner in 2025. Feeling better, getting rid of joint pain once and for all. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. QC Kinetics patients are able to walk up and down the stairs like my dad, tailgate with their friends. They can finally sleep without pain waking them up. That aching, they can feel normal again. That can be you. 2025 can look very different than what the past years have looked. So call QC Kinetics and say goodbye to the shoulder, the knee, the hip, the back, whatever's aching you. QC Kinetics and Dr. Ray Tezer and his team, they're waiting for your call with the treatments right in the office with no downtime, no drugs, no surgeries. Their advanced protocols in regenerative medicine have helped tens of thousands of people get lasting relief. No steroid shots. And if you've been told surgery is your only option, well, check out a second opinion and go check out QC Kinetics. The consultation is free. Go to QC Kinetics/Columbus, or even better yet, call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544 with offices in Dublin and Gahanna.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with savings on hundreds of items every time you shop, with new low prices, deals for days, weekly sales, and My Perks at your neighborhood Giant Eagle. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron, I invented 3 new ways for people to use our genius electricians.
I'm all ears. Get Eco.
ECO. Our electricians can put a power outlet anywhere you want one. Behind a painting or inside a closet.
Above a nightstand or beneath your desk.
Out in your yard or anywhere else you can imagine.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You are the artist and your house is your canvas.
And our genius electricians are your paintbrush.
Now paint your walls with rich, romantic, reactive light.
Your paintings will pop, your gardens will glow.
Paint your home with artistic light and shimmering shadows, and everyone will love being at your house.
Rich, romantic, reactive light.
Get Eco.
ECO. Our genius electricians can turn your house into a high-tech wonderland where you can live a stress-free life.
None of these things were there when you bought your house.
But our genius electricians can put them there. We do it right at the speed of light.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Kansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. This is ONN.
She had to change her plans, so.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Kevin Harlan, National Sportscaster of the Year. Kevin, everybody knows about you from the pros, but I want to ask you about how you started doing college football at Kansas and Missouri.
Well, that was really my first love, was college football and basketball. Went to the University of Kansas. When I was a student there, Paul, I did pregame, halftime, and postgame on the Kansas Jayhawk Network for 4 years. Here I was 18 years old as a freshman, and they put me on. We eventually went to the University of Missouri and loved doing the sports for the Tigers in Columbia, football and basketball. And now we do the tournament. So I get to see you every once in a while in the regular season of the Big Ten, and hopefully more in the NCAA tournament. But I love college sports to a degree that I can't even explain.
You know, Kevin, you're one of the guys from the networks that takes the time to talk with us local bums. But I'm sure that hopefully that's something that gives a little bit of helpful information to you, we always hope.
Oh, well, you in particular are always so generous with your information. Yeah, you know, we don't really have the pulse of a team like the broadcaster that does that team every single pass and every single dribble. So when we come into, a new building, you're hoping that you're going to have, maybe just a little bit more insight into what's going on, and people like you provide that. But let me just tell you something. I know this is your 6th Ohio Sportscaster of the Year award. People don't realize the scrutiny, how many people listen to you that vote on that award in that state, and you're so much more under scrutiny than like the national guys are, who you might hear once a month, maybe once every twice a month. So for you to win it that many times in that state with all the great programs and all the incredible broadcasters is really an accomplishment.
Well, I appreciate
So I love you as a friend and love you as a broadcaster.
Kevin, what's it like to see the NCAA tournament the way you get to see it?
It's the best. I enjoy it every year. I've done it for 25 years, and the tournament never continues to amaze me with the emotion and all the different aspects involved with moms and dads and family in the stands and alums who have gone to every game, and just the pageantry of the college game. Even with NIL, and as people find that distasteful, I get it. At the end of the day, it is still the Buckeye they wear, the Buckeye they hold true to their heart, the schools that they love and enjoy. Their grandfathers went there, their fathers went there, they go there, their sons and daughters will go there. That's what makes the college game so great.
Still great to have a tie to radio with Monday Night Football.
Oh, Paul, I love it. I absolutely love doing my Monday Night Football. It's the thing that I wanted to do the most when I got into college. It's the thing that I wanted to do when I got out of college, and the fact that I can still do it now, all these years later, is such a blessing. It's the one reason why I kind of stay in the business, but TV just kind of happened. The radio is where my heart is, for sure.
Well, those of us that listen appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Great to see you.
Right.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Getting a live Christmas tree to plant after the holidays? Well, here are some tips. In the house, keep it away from heat sources that could wake it up out of dormancy. You don't want that. Dig your hole now before the ground freezes. Or if you plan to wait till spring, you need to protect roots from extreme cold with mulch or straw. And move it from the warm house to an unheated area like a garage temporarily to make the transition outside more gentle. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Ohio chapter of the International Society of Arboriculture at treesforohio.org. That's trees, 4, ohio.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Have you ever told a friend
Oh, I'm fine.
when you really felt
Just so overwhelmed.
or sent a text
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
when you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now let's get some highlights from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Here's producer Bodie Wells to set the scene.
Thanks, Jay. On the show this week, the guys chatted about whether or not it would make sense for the Browns to trade Myles Garrett this offseason.
I'm talking strictly from an ownership.
Yeah, right.
Take the GM out. Take the coach out.
Yeah.
If you are the owner of the Browns, you are focused on this dome and selling hope in PSLs and tickets to this dome. You have to have that in place by 2027, which means you got to get your quarterback in 2026. The 26 draft at this point looks a lot better than the 25 draft. Is all of this a risk? Of course. Yes, it's a huge risk.
To catch the full breakdown, just search for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy their daily content covering all things Cleveland sports. We'll be back to wrap up this week's Ohio Sports Magazine show here on the Ohio News Network.
Jake Diebler's Buckeyes are back at the shot for a battle with Indiana State. Yay, Larry Bird.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday at 11 with the tip at noon.
Your flagship home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Clean up the new year with help from Menards. We carry all the Littman products you need to keep your house clean. From brooms and mops to cloths and liquid cleaners, we've got you covered. The Littman 14-inch angle broom is precisely cut to reach under cabinets and into tight corners. Pick one up today, plus check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
Make your New Year's Eve celebration and football watch party a good deal better with Meijer. Fresh guac is always a hit. Mix up a batch with extra large fresh avocados. Now buy one, get one free. And Meijer tortilla chips are a perfect match. Assorted Meijer chips are 3 for $6 when you buy 3 or more. And Coca-Cola and Pepsi 12-packs are buy 2, get 1 free. Plus deposit where applicable. Bring more good to your holiday celebrations at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See the Meijer app for details.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I'm gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Thank you to Russ Mitchell and Nick Camino of WKYC TV in Cleveland, Clay Gordon of WBNS TV in Columbus, Tim Alcorn from the Cavs, and Dave Murgon for being on this week's show. Thanks to all of our Locked On podcast contributors this week as well. For Bodie Wells, Eric Reeser, and Paul Keels, I'm Jay Fox. Thanks for listening to Ohio Sports Magazine. Join us next week right here on the Ohio News Network.